don't know about you, but every year when Christmas rolls around, I feel caught off guard. And the reason is simple. Advent is probably the busiest liturgical season of the year. There are get-togethers, there are parties, there are gifts to be brought, and it's just one of those times of the year where it seems like everything's going on that's distracting me from the time of preparation that I'm supposed to be engaging in order to get ready for the great feast of Christmas, for the feast of the incarnation of the Son of God. So what I decided to do one year was to go back and put together a Bible study on the scriptural readings from the Sundays of Advent so that I could, prepare myself to celebrate Christmas. And when I did this, I discovered something fascinating, that the Sundays of Advent, the scriptural readings from that season, are so rich. They're some of the richest in the entire liturgical year. Because what the church does during the season of Advent is, in a sense, bring us back in time to the 1st century AD, to the hopes of the Jewish people, and to the prophecies of the coming of the Messiah. In a sense, what happens during Advent is that the church is trying to encourage us to imagine ourselves as Jews in the 1st century who are waiting and longing for their Savior to come. So during this time of year, what we do is we study the prophecies of the Messiah that Jesus fulfilled in his first coming. And also what I discovered was that at the same time, the church begins teaching us about Jesus' prophecies of his second coming, of his final advent at the end of time. So that the season of Advent has a kind of dual purpose. It's meant to both take us back in time to celebrate the first coming of God as man in the incarnation, in the nativity, in the feast of Christmas, and also prepare us for the second coming, the final advent of Christ at the end of time, by giving us prophecies of the tribulation, the coming of the Antichrist, and the final judgment. So if you've ever felt like, I want to get ready for Christmas this year, I want to prepare myself spiritually to celebrate this great feast, then I would strongly encourage you to come with me on this journey into the world of the Messiah, the hopes for the coming of the Messiah that the 1st century Jews had, and then our hopes as Catholics for the second coming of the Messiah at the end of time. And when you do this, when you really dive into the scriptures that the church gives us during the season of Advent, you'll see that these are some of the richest Bible readings in the entire year, and that your heart will be prepared for the coming of Jesus, not just at Christmas, but at the end of time as well.